by my good friend Zac Cunningham. He's an instructor at the Gracie University Jiu-Jitsu Academy in California. He's a cool guy. I get to meet him a few years ago, and we trained together. And I invite him to talk because he's got so many cool stories to tell us, and also he has an initiative that he's gonna talk to us about more. But welcome, Zac. How's it going, bro?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. It's going good, man. Can't complain.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Staying healthy? Everything good?
Yeah, man. Just taking it day by day, you know?
Cool. How is California in terms of, because some states have reopened in phases. Is California still shut down completely, or what's the state over
Yeah,
there?
I mean, right now, California is just taking it day by day too, you know? Right now, it's pretty much closed down, but they're talking about opening it up in phases, I believe.
Yes, in Virginia here, we're gonna start phase one next May 15.
Oh,
So,
nice.
but it's gonna be very like, with a lot of rules and everybody keeping the distance and, you
Yeah.
know, but at least something because, man, students and I guess instructors too, we're missing the students. I don't know how you feel about the whole situation.
Yeah, man, I miss jiu-jitsu a lot, you know? I haven't trained or even taught since St. Patrick's Day, and I can't even believe it's already been almost 2 months since I've taught, but
Right.
yeah, man, I miss jiu-jitsu a lot.
So you haven't been doing no training, not like with a live person, but you've been doing Zoom classes.
Yeah, so I've been mainly doing like Zoom private classes, and I also have my dad. My dad trains too, so we get down like every once in a while. Um,
Oh, okay.
so yeah, not as frequent as as I would like, but it's still a little bit of training and BBS too. Watching a lot of the BBS two curriculum, but
Studying the videos, getting to train with your
yeah,
dad.
right. So I'm still
Cool.
there, but it's not the same. It's not as much. It's not as frequent.
Zach, you,
Um,
you are
yeah.
the main instructor for the kids class over there.
Yes, yeah,
And man, I don't know, but I miss their energy a lot,
yeah.
right?
Oh man, 100%.
They're probably missing you too a lot.
I hope so.
I
you
think
know.
so. Are you guys doing the Zoom classes for the group classes for the kids?
Yeah, so starting next week, Henner and Hedon, they've been working really hard, and we're gonna get those Zoom classes started up for the GU students. Master Cycle, Combatives, Woman Power, and Kids. This whole
Man,
schedule just got released, and man, we're excited. I can't wait.
that would be amazing to see
Yeah,
the
so
students
good.
again after no contact at all, and start getting some connections with them. You know, it's
Yeah,
great.
man. Because I was talking to Hedon about it too, and that's like a big part of jiu-jitsu for us. Like we love jiu-jitsu and we love the building and just like even that exchange and that connection, it's like almost like a currency for us. You know what I mean? That we're missing out on currently, just having that group of people to connect with and share jiu-jitsu with and almost have as like a family base. You know, that's it's a lot. So it's gonna be so cool to get these Zoom classes back and running and connect with those people again.
How do you deal with the not being able to do jujitsu? Do you handle it well? And also with the just the whole situation about the virus going and fear going. How do you deal with all that?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough at first. I say the first month I was having a really hard time, but I also tried to just take it for what it was and try to find the positives. A lot of people didn't know this, but I actually hurt my knee. It was a little bit messed up. I think I might have partially tore my MCL.
Oh.
So I used this time to just kind of relax it and just heal,
Mm.
um, watch jiu-jitsu videos when I can and stuff like that, and even focus on school. But the one quote that Henner said that I really liked a lot when this all started with the quarantine and the pandemic and the whole deal was Henner said that this is probably the biggest test of our jiu-jitsu like so far.
Man.
Because the same ways that jiu-jitsu, we survive jiu-jitsu and we thrive in jiu-jitsu, we're going to have to do that and adjust to this pandemic and quarantine. And I think a lot of people have found that adjustment by now with it being almost 2 months. But yeah, it's been good. It's been a good test.
Yes, I also felt the same way. There were the first 2 weeks of uncertainty, what's gonna happen. Man, even the virus, I didn't know how deadly this was gonna be. Am I gonna get it? Am I
Yeah.
gonna die of this thing?
Yeah.
And yes, you're right. And then like the phrase is right on, because that's a test of your jiu-jitsu, being in a position where you're under so much stress, and that's
Yeah.
what we do in jiu-jitsu, right? We get put in like the worst case scenarios.
Exactly.
And I think I'm very grateful that I think my jiu-jitsu was able to pull me through,
Me
I'm very
too.
happy that had that. That's why I feel like it's so important for people who maybe hasn't done activities like this to once this is all over to think about signing for jiu-jitsu, because it's not just the physical, it's also the mental toughness,
Oh yeah.
right? So yes, cool, man. So tell me, maybe could you tell us a little bit of your story, your journey? How did you start jiu-jitsu? At what
Yeah.
age, and how did it all started for you?
So it's kind of a crazy story because what happened was my dad, he's in the Air Force. He was in the Air Force. And that just meant I moved around a lot.
Mm.
And essentially, before I moved to California, I lived in New Hampshire. And when I lived in New Hampshire, I was like somewhat of a popular kid, and like I played sports and I had all that kind of stuff going for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved to Los Angeles, California,
Mm-hmm.
and right away I got bullied. So it happened
Okay.
really fast. I was like 12, 13. I was
Mm-hmm.
13 in eighth grade. And yeah, man, I just got bullied right away.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, I quit all my sports. And all I would do is just go to school and go home. That's it, and eat. That's all I
Mm.
would do for like probably a period of 5 months or so, until my parents are just like, "This is ridiculous. You need to do something." So they were looking around, and they were even looking into jiu-jitsu back in New Hampshire, just like seeing, what schools were available. And so they started looking again, and they found GracieAcademy.com back when it was Gracie Academy,
Mm-hmm.
and they literally just chose it because of how good the website looked. They're like, yeah, this is cool. Like, this website looks really
The
nice. They're probably really
importance of having a good website.
100%. They knew nothing. I could have gone to any jiu-jitsu school, and luckily I
Okay.
just picked up the website. And I had my first class, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to, but they made me. And man, luckily I just listened, I guess, and took my first Combatives class, which was class 5, punch block series 1 through 4, guillotine
Mm-hmm.
choke, and I fell in love. That was it.
Cool. Zach, when you say when you were getting bullied, you cancel other activities, other sport activities, and then you will go home and eat. Was that a kind of a way of coping with the situation, the eating?
Yeah, man, I think so. And I ate a lot of food, man, a lot of food.
Were you
So
starting like getting out of shape?
definitely. Yeah. So to put it in perspective, I was like 13 years old, and I was 5 feet 2 inches tall and 155 pounds. So I
Okay.
was very out of shape. That was when I started jiu-jitsu. Like that was my frame, my body frame.
So when you started jiu-jitsu, you were bigger than
Definitely.
you were supposed to be.
Yeah, no doubt.
So what year was this when you started jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. So my first day was January 17th, 2012.
Wow, you still
Yeah.
remember the the day.
Yeah.
It's an important
Yeah.
day in your life.
Yeah.
Who was teaching the class?
I don't know. That's the only thing I don't remember. But
So what
yeah,
happened after that first class? What do you think about it? Were you like, or you were like, man, this is it?
This is it.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
100% it. And I just like fell in love with every aspect of it too. And I just remember like really wanting to just put my all into being in that building and around the jiu-jitsu and defending myself, and the connections were so deep, and I just remember it was like, man, this kind of felt like at the time it felt like the only place I could go and be fully myself and fully
Mm.
accepted. And that was just a beautiful thing to have through my teenage years. And I just, yeah, spent a lot of time there.
Man, that is amazing. So you fell in love with it right away. What do you think
Right.
was it? Was it because you realized, okay, I'm being bullied. This is punch block series defense. This is what I need. This is what is gonna make me empowered. Was
Yeah,
it?
no question. And especially like I was 13, like right when I joined. So they partnered me up with this adult who wasn't a big adult, but still an adult. And I'm over here. He can't hit me.
Mm.
The whole punch block series, And I'm like, dang, if I was ever in this situation before this, there's no way I would have been able to defend myself or have the answers like I do now. And I was hungry for more of those
Yeah.
answers that Jiu-Jitsu provided that not only worked for me but for everyone. And it's just, man, it blew my mind.
Yeah, the realistic situation, the realistic techniques, right? It makes sense for me too. When I started my first class, it was like, man, this is what I need. It makes so much sense.
Yeah,
So because sometimes you see other martial arts that, man, it's a one punch and you knock the guy out, but then you think like, I
like
don't know about that.
yeah,
But this, like, okay, this is gonna work,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, only all the time.
Only only all the time. So at that time, did you hear about the Gracies, or for you was just like a jiu-jitsu class? Did you hear, or for me, for example, I heard about the Gracies before I started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I mean, I literally knew nothing. I just
Oh,
came
okay,
in and I didn't even know what jujitsu was. I didn't even want to wear the pajamas. Like that was my mindset. And
right.
then Cordeon was in the building too on my first day. I remember my dad telling me, "Oh, that guy's on TV. Like, take a picture with him." So I actually have a picture of Cordeon on my first day, white belt Zac.
I see.
And I just didn't even know. Just like, all right, cool. And yeah, I had no idea. It's kind of
Right.
funny.
Is this the building in Artesia?
Yeah, it's just the old building.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So no, you never got to the building that was even before that, right?
No, I
Before
never trained on the first Carson.
on the first Carson.
Yeah.
So man, once you start training and you realize, man, I'm here like where everything started pretty much in the US. How was
Yeah.
that feeling of training with like the family of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. I mean, it's still crazy. I still like think back on it. It's just like, man, it's unreal to even be here. So yeah, it took a while for it to settle in, I think. You know what I mean? In the sense that like, I didn't have an idea for a little while. Like I just saw it as jiu-jitsu class for a pretty long time, like a month or so. And then it just like the more history I found out, and like even being in the museum at the old place, and just like connecting with everybody and really digging into the history is like, oh shoot, this is the place.
That's the place where everybody wants to go and visit and train. And
Yeah,
you were
it's
there.
very lucky on that one.
So tell us, you start with your combatives. Were they teaching combatives in 2012? Yeah, right. Yeah, they
Yeah, I
were
was
teaching.
combative.
It was combatives. Uh, who were your main? Your main? You will say the main instructor was everybody. Who would you say you learned the most on those early years?
So those early years, it was Hidon. Hidon was in there a lot. And also Guido,
Hmm.
John Boyd. John Boyd was in there.
Mm,
John Boyd gave me my first stripe,
I
which
see.
is crazy. And then I think that was mainly it. I'm trying to think. It wasn't Alex Ueda yet. It wasn't Sam yet. So yeah, it was mainly like those guys and Henner.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little bit of Brian too.
Mm-hmm.
Brian,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think that was the majority.
Yeah.
Holick was there too at the
Halleck,
time. Yeah,
Haaland too, right? Or not so much?
not so much back then. Yeah, I don't
Right.
think so. But yeah,
Cool, man. So you got to train with the man. Those guys are amazing. You know,
yeah,
like everyone that you just mentioned. Not just like in terms of the level of their jiu-jitsu, but as instructors. So I
right.
guess you got a great role models
Oh
to
yeah,
follow.
yeah,
So
100%.
so from there, how come you became an instructor? What was
Yeah,
the
I just there's a couple of reasons. I remember um, just like wanting to be like them, of course. I wanted to be like the guys I looked up to and those role models, just like you explained. And also, I remember I just wanted to spend a lot of my time in that building, in that jiu-jitsu environment, because as I said earlier, in the moment when I was like a young teenager and stuff, and I was really struggling with the bullying and everything, it felt like that was the only place I could go to. So if I could be accepted. So I wanted to spend all my time there, any amount of time I could, and that just got me to the point where like my whole summer would be training in the afternoon classes, then helping out any way they needed in the building, like interning, um, anything, and then training in the night class. And I remember my little brother, he doesn't train anymore, but my little brother, he was in the kids class, so I was already there anyways watching him. So then I asked Henner, hey man, can I help out with the kids? And I primarily wanted to kick the dodgeballs, which is the funny part of that story. Obviously it grew into something way more. But that was the main thing. I saw Ben in there. I was just that's my little brother. I was like, God, I want to kind of hit him with the dodgeball, and get away with it. But yeah, and then Henner let me help out, and he just gave me some pointers here and there, and continued to give me some pointers, and it just kept growing and growing, and now we're here.
That's so cool, man. Hey, one question: do you ever got to use your jujitsu against those bullies? Were you able to like pay back?
There was a couple situations I had to. I
Tell us,
mean,
bro. Tell us.
well, I wish I used it more than I did. That's the truth. There was some situations in high school where I really held back, and I wish I did. But there was some where I didn't hold back, and I can think of two of them right now. I want to say there's a third one, but right now I can think of two. And the first situation was there was this kid. His name was Quinlan, and oh shoot, that is the third one. So Quinlan was two of them. Quinlan was two of the situations,
Oh man.
and yeah, Quinlan was messed up. But essentially, what happened was Quinlan, it was in high school, and he took a water bottle just like this, and poured the water in my gym locker with all my stuff. I had my books and my gym clothes in there. Everything was just drenched. And I didn't even know who it was at first until someone showed me a video of him pouring the water in the locker, like on the phone or whatever. He's just messing everything up. So the next day I see him, he's sitting on his phone like this. He's sitting like playing some game. And I don't know, this is probably the worst example. I just went behind him and I put in an RNC. I just choked him.
Oh no.
It's not a good
There was
example.
no tech talk 3Ts.
Nothing. I was frustrated, and I was like 15, 16. I just choked. I said, don't ever mess with my locker again. Don't ever put water in my locker again. And he was choking. He's like, all right. And I let go, and that was it. That was the first one. The second one was that same kid. I don't remember this happened before the water or after the water. He stole my watch out of my locker. I had like this nice G-Shock I just got for Christmas, like white watch, and he took it. And then I was at a pizza place with my friends, and then he walked in the pizza place wearing my watch.
Oh no.
Yeah,
You
it was
recognize
crazy.
it. That's my watch.
Oh, so obvious to tell, just like white G-Shock, who else owns that,
I
and he
see.
was wearing other stuff that he took from other people's locker, like a chain and like
Bro,
tank top,
that guy.
crazy. And I went up, my friend told me, no, don't do anything, just stay and eat and like tell a teacher or whatever. And I was like, no, I got to do something. And he had two friends with him. And I remember I just went up to him and I said, hey, that's my watch, give it back. And then he just gave back the watch, and his friends, they were kind of like mouthing off a little bit. They're just saying like, oh, you owe him a watch now or something. I'm like, no, man, get out of here, it's mine. And then he gave me the watch and walked away. And I say that's like verbal jiu-jitsu. Like I
Oh,
was
so there was no need. There was no need for using any techniques or anything. Just talk.
no
You
techniques in that situation.
you
Yeah,
went to him. You told him, "Hey, man, just give me
that's
my
mine.
watch."
Yeah, and I say that's jiu-jitsu because I feel like if I didn't have the jiu-jitsu knowledge, I would have never done that.
The confidence to walk through.
Yeah, and the verbal assertiveness that we talk about in the kids classes all the
Right,
time.
right, right,
If I
right.
didn't have any of that, I just would have sat and keep eating my pizza or whatever and let him walk out and tell someone later. But I felt it. I was just like, no, I'm going to get the watch back. And that's another example. Then the third one was this kid named Dong Ku. And Dong Ku headlocked me. He headlocked me and
Just for
noogied
no
me.
reason. For no reason.
No reason in the hallway, And Dong Ku, it was interesting, that friendship. He was kind of like a friend, but kind of not really. You know what I mean? It was a little bit wishy-washy, And he headlocked me, he noogied me, and I just straight up did the standing headlock defense combatives.
I see. I see. The one where you sit forward
Yeah.
and reverse it on him.
And I went. So I hugged the hip, made the T, blocked the knee, set up, step, go step, and sat through. And he didn't hold the headlock.
Okay.
So when I sat across, he let go of the headlock and he face planted over the flat leg. You see what I'm saying? So he just completely let go. He face planted, and then he got in my face. He was like, "Oh, I'll fight after school parking lot, like 2 p.m. Be there," and I just never showed up to the party.
Oh, okay, okay. You just never
Yeah.
but he never bullied you either.
Oh yeah, never again. It was never like physical or anything after that.
Man, that's so cool. That's so cool, especially like because the worst gets around, man. That guy, you don't mess with him,
Yeah.
And also, when you were mentioning the verbal jiu-jitsu, it reminds me what Henner says. It's like we learn jiu-jitsu, so we don't even need to use it.
Right.
Right? Because we got the composure, the assertiveness to just deal with the situation. Like, remember that story that he tells when he was dancing at the concert and he walked to that guy who was bumping into him and just talked to him, And it could be intimidating when somebody tells you with so much confidence, like, what, this guy knows something,
Yeah.
Man, that is so awesome. So you became instructor. So what Henner did, he called you one day and he said, Zac, I want you to go you do this more, like more official, or how was
Yeah.
it?
I mean, pretty much. It was. I don't know how to explain it. It was kind of like, it was just time. Like, I think they just saw how much time I was putting in the sense that, like, if there wasn't jiu-jitsu going on, I was in the back folding t-shirts, shredding paper, folding towels, the whole deal. I was there. And then when there was jiu-jitsu going on, I was in there, either watching or just with the kids connecting. So I was there a lot. And it got to the point where I just kept getting older with it because I started helping out assisting kids when I was 14. And then, 16, I hit my blue belt. And I probably got like my first private student as well. 16, 17, I got a couple more and I just kept getting older. And then 18, it turned into, that was 2016 when I was 18. And that was essentially the big year because it was Evandro and Alex Ueda and myself in the kids classes. I was like the main people who were always there, always helping out. And it was just time to get certified. So then he was just like, yeah, man, you're here all the time. Like, let's get you certified as an instructor. And I knew because I was there all the time. So I knew what being certified meant. So he's like, you just got to get certified. Let's make this happen. And I went through the whole course in 2016. and made it happen. Got certified.
Man, that is amazing that they take so much pride on that course, because I remember I was there. I was there to 2016 in January for the ICP that year, and the Evandro was there as a participant.
Yeah,
You know, and who else was there? Like there were other black belts. I don't remember who, or you know, students of the academy that they wanted to be instructors, but it's not like they go, okay, just teach. Is you guys
yeah,
also
no.
go through the same process
Hmm.
that anybody will go. You know, it
Yeah,
was for me was just a surprise to see Evandro being like a student of the class, since he was like a black belt and he was just an amazing black belt, you know. But he was there learning with the other applicants. There were blue belts, purple belts, right? But you guys had to go through the process same as everybody else.
yeah, man. I mean, that's the way it should be too. You know,
Yep.
100%.
So you start teaching, and then when is it? Because are you the main instructor for kids now, or you are also with is the same with Evandro and Alex still continue? Are they still teaching alongside with you?
So yeah, so what happened with that was through the years the schedule just kind of changed a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
essentially, um, Alex Ueda, he got really busy just with life. You know, he got married, he had a kid, you know, another job as well, and it was just too much for him to handle. He's so busy, like one of the busiest guys I know, and essentially, he just kind of had to focus away from the jiu-jitsu classes, the main group classes. He still trains and he still teaches private classes here and there, but he
Mm-hmm.
just had to let go of some of that responsibility with other life situations happening. And then Evandro just focused on GST. So
Yeah.
Henrik gave him that GST priority. And just he's traveling and teaching cops everywhere and doing his thing with that. And then essentially it was me for a little bit, and then Sam came in the mix as well. So right now, the main people in the kids' classes, I would say, is myself and Sam and Bobby, Bobby Tamario, who's
Mm-hmm.
super solid as well.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Bro, how is it? Because I teach the kids class, right? But my school is small, so the biggest kids class is 25, 30 students. You guys teach, what's the biggest kids class over there?
Does that exclude game day or does that include game day?
No game day, just a normal class.
Normal. I mean, it probably ranges from like 60 to 80 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that is crazy.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's a
It's a
lot
lot
of,
of fun. Yes, a lot of fun. It's a lot of work too.
yep.
But I guess you guys have people like when like you were a volunteer when you started. You have also volunteers under you that are helping out in the class, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's great. We even have like Henner made this whole C4 program. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, man, that's a great program. Just getting some
Hmm.
assistant instructors in the mix and having a really solid ratio between instructors and kid students.
Yeah.
Um, very beneficial.
Yes, bro. That's so awesome to see you going from like just being there, wanting to learn jujitsu, to become one of the main instructors there. That's a great evolution.
Thank you, bro.
Bro, we have some people here. Del Sobel. We have Brandon McBride. He said two bad dudes right there. Come back to Manchester, gentlemen. He's
Oh
from
yeah,
Manchester. Uh, Christopher Anthony Bradley. Hola, gentlemen. David Lee. Hey there, Zac and Marco.
right on.
Thank you for watching, guys. I'm talking here with Zac Cunningham. He's an instructor at the Gracie University headquarters. He's telling us a little bit about his jiu-jitsu journey. And also, Zach, I think it'll be great to talk about this initiative that you are having. Why don't you explain to the viewers?
Yeah, man. So I decided to create a GoFundMe page for jiu-jitsu schools that are essentially about to close down their doors forever due to this COVID-19 pandemic. So hopefully we'll see what we can do, see who we can help with it.
How do you get this idea?
Man, so I've been really thinking about this since the lockdown, the quarantine started, because I remember like right away when we closed down, when Gracie University closed down, I was super anxious, having like a little bit even depression, just thinking like, man, what am I gonna do if GU closes? What are we gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? And it was just a big like, even if whether it was rational or not, it was just a huge fear that I had for like a good first month of that quarantine, just trying to figure things out. And then, it got to the point where like Henner, Eve, and Dean, the guy, he's essentially HR. Man, they're just killing it. They're doing such a good job, and they're helping us out so much as far as staff. And like it's amazing to have Hedon and Victoria too. Like they're amazing. It's unreal. And just having them and seeing the moves they were making during this and like supporting us, it took a lot of stress and that anxiety that I was having off my shoulders. And then I just kind of realized like, man, if I'm feeling it and I'm with like this great company, imagine what other people are feeling, like other school owners that like run really small schools, and you're starting to see some jiu-jitsu schools that are like shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, it made me realize that, man, like forget affiliation and all that stuff. Is people in every business, especially the jiu-jitsu business, are struggling, and jiu-jitsu, especially because it's such like connection and contact and sweating on each other and rolling around. It's like, man, even if we open up in phases, jiu-jitsu is probably going to be one of the last phases to get approved. And some people even saying, I don't know, I'm not like a doctor or anything, but some people are saying that this stuff could even spark back up in September.
I heard that, yeah.
So it's like, what are people going to do? So I was really thinking like, man, how can I help some people out? Like there has to be something we can do that will alleviate the stress that I was having for someone else, because like people are struggling. And I was thinking about it, but I had other things going on in my life, like college and, family, just looking after them and everything. And I'm just kind of like thinking in the back of my head. But I was driving the other day to get groceries and I see this billboard, and the billboard said, everything is canceled. Like all events are canceled, but except for love. Love isn't canceled. And I don't know, it's just something about that billboard. It was just like kind of inspired me to really make that thought of helping people my number one priority, because my love for jiu-jitsu isn't canceled. My love for other people isn't canceled. Like it was happening in the back of my head, but it just wasn't a priority. So I made it a priority, and I just really sat and thought about a couple ideas, and then it just kind of hit me like, man, maybe let's just start this GoFundMe page. I have a pretty like decent following, especially on Instagram. Instagram is pretty crazy, it's like 11,000 whatever followers that is. So if I can get like a GoFundMe page started, and even if I have like every single follower donate $1, that's $11,000.
True. Yes.
Every follower donates $5, that's 55. So let's just see what we can do and try to get a good cause started.
Man, that is an amazing initiative. That's great that you had the idea, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got inspired, and then you're like, man, let's make it happen. Let's go with this. That is awesome. So, Zac, you are saying the money will go for the schools who are struggling, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then you're saying no affiliations. So what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so just meaning like, first of all, there are certain requirements to even qualify for the money that's being raised.
So you're gonna have a little filter for you to decide where the money is gonna go. Explain a little bit about it, please.
Yeah, so right now, like, for example, it's a school. It has to have let me look it up real quick just so I don't mess it up. But the school requirements, they need to have 25 to 200 registered students, right? Like somewhere in between that ballpark.
Okay.
They need to have proof of rent payments, that they're actually paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
They also need to have proof of the closure notice sent to students because I don't want to be sending money to a school that's been open this whole time. You know what I mean? And as far as the like affiliation is, what I'm just saying is it doesn't have to be like a CTC.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? It can be any jiu-jitsu school. It
Oh,
can
I
be
see.
Eddie Bravo. It could be Pedro Sauer. It could be, anything. Hibero. It's just the people who need the help. I'm just trying to help team jiu-jitsu on this one.
Man, that's awesome that you're using the platform that you have, being a recognizable face in the jiu-jitsu community, to use it for this, man. That's pretty cool. And hopefully I'm gonna put the link on this video, so hopefully we can also spread out the word on that.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
That's
it.
awesome. Is there any like I think on GoFundMe you have to put like a limit, or is it just how far we go in terms of amount?
Yeah, so I mean there is a goal, but the
Mm-hmm.
goal is really high. I don't necessarily know if we're ever even gonna hit that goal, to be honest, because the goal is 50 grand.
Okay.
And my mindset for that was just being like, yeah, we could send 5 schools $10,000 if we hit 50 grand.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a huge amount,
Bro,
and help a lot of people.
bro, that's
Um,
great. Anything, you
yeah,
know?
exactly though. You know what I mean? So on the same token, I'll be happy if we raise like 2 grand or 3 grand and we can send 1,000 to a couple different schools. You know what I mean? Because anything helps. So right now it's in a really good spot, but we'll just have to wait and see. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yes, because if you think about it, like a jiu-jitsu school, the other day I saw that like Gold's Gym is closed or filed for bankruptcy. But those
Yeah,
guys are like a corporation, you know. They have resources. They feel for bankruptcy, but they are not closing their gyms. They're back in their feet like in a month or after. But a jiu-jitsu school is usually like a guy who put his lifetime savings into a
yeah,
dream.
100%. And I think that's like the whole motivation for it too. Because it's just like a lot of these jiu-jitsu school owners, they're people who, you know what I mean? They didn't think it was possible. Most likely, they might have been working 9 to 5 and they just hated it. They're just like, man, I'm so sick and tired of this. Let's just try to make jiu-jitsu a career. I'm good at that and I can teach that and I can do that. Then they go and then they find success and then something like this happens that's so unforeseen, man. Like, how do you prepare for this? Nobody was ready for this. And it would just be cool to help those people out, with their dream, as you said, because that's
Yes.
all they're going to do.
Yes, and I think this is the perfect timing because um I think the longer it starts going, maybe the first month, some students stick with it. But I was reading the case of the school in St. George, I think, and it was the longer the closing goes, the more students have to drop, you know.
Yeah,
So it's around this time where the schools are gonna really need the help.
no doubt.
You know, I
Yeah,
mean, it's unfortunate, but is a reality.
yeah, 100%.
So cool, man. Is this the first GoFundMe you've done?
Ever. Yeah, I've never done a GoFundMe before. Uh,
Right,
but
man.
man, I'm happy with it so far. It's good. We have $1,340 raised.
Cool.
So
That's
that's pretty
awesome.
good.
You guys, if you have the chance, if you have the resources, please donate. Zac is gonna take care of it. He, because people might say, "Oh man, this is gonna go for like for him for his bills
No,
or even
uh-uh.
you know." And I think you made a point there. This is not gonna go for Gracie University either,
Yeah, it's
right?
not going towards the headquarters. It's not going towards me. And I'll even provide proof on the social media platforms the money sent, you know?
You guys, Zac is super straight integrity guy. Like he's gonna take care. He's gonna do a good use of
Yeah.
this money. So trust me. If you guys donate, he's gonna go in good hands, and he's gonna make sure that it goes to the people who actually need it. So that's awesome, bro.
No question.
Man, luckily, I think. Have you seen the video of the CTC in Korea, Jason Park?
I saw he opened up.
Man, I saw that video and I was like, oh man, it's almost like we are going through a storm, right? Or through crossing a river.
Yeah.
And he's the first one who has made it on the other side. And he's on the other side saying, you guys keep going. So you feel
So
like, okay, he's the first one. Let's keep going. I felt
yeah,
so good. It felt so good to see him open. So now I think there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but
definitely.
the idea is that we all made it. We all have to make it, you know? We all
Yeah.
have to make it to the other side.
That's what's gonna help, with these Zoom classes and having that connection still there and everything. It's gonna be beneficial, It'll be good. We'll make it, I believe.
Yes,
And hopefully we
yes,
can help some other people make it as well.
yes, man. Because I think I'm being very like, of course, nothing is for certain, but it's
Right.
always good to have the positive, you know. So help the schools like going through these hard times, and I feel like as jiu-jitsu is, I think, with this experience has become even more important now.
Yeah.
You know, people needs to realize that activity like jiu-jitsu is what is gonna help them, like not only like a technique self-defense, but mentally. You know what I
Yeah.
think it helped me through this time was the mental toughness and also health. How much how much weight do you drop from when you started to now?
Yeah. So I was still growing.
Oh
So
yeah, well,
I didn't really drop any weight, but it was interesting because for 3 years I stayed at the same weight. So, or sorry, five. I should say five. So I was like 13. I was 155, and then I was 18, 155.
got it.
Yeah. So I
Of
just
course,
grew up. I shot up. So I
nice.
was like 5'2", 155 when I was 13. Now I was like 6 feet tall, 155 at 18.
But you're in great shape, man. Doing jujitsu. I saw you. Do you go to the sand hill with Hiron?
Yeah, man. It's been a while, but
How,
Sandhill's fun.
how do you do, man? I never done it, but how do you do when you go there?
Man, it's been, I don't know how long it's been. It's been a while, but it's all right. It's a love hate relationship. You know what I mean? It's like you go up and it's hard. It's a lot of work,
Do you go as
but
fast as Hiron?
no, no, no,
No.
no. Hidon's a monster. To put in perspective, I wasn't there when this happened, but I heard that Hidon invited a football player, and this football player, he wasn't just any football player. He's like, at the time, he was the top defensive football player in the country, like big deal and like super fast. And supposedly, he don't ran at the same speed as the top football player in the country up the sandhill, like 4 seconds or something, 5 seconds.
Wow.
It's something crazy. Cheap.
Bro, that is crazy.
Yeah. So Hidon's world class, man.
Yes. That is a
It's
video. There is a video of him rolling like with three or four. No, he rolled with three people, right?
yeah.
He rolls with three and taps them all. Who you have
Oh,
who is like you're saying, you'll say, uh, like in terms of sparring, who you do better with, Hiron or Henner?
Man, I don't know. I think it's just different. You know what I mean? If I
Yeah.
had to say, I guess the better answer to say is that I feel more calm when I roll with heat on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but that's just how I feel.
He
Uh,
keeps it playful a little more.
yeah, maybe, but then again, he doesn't though. You know what I mean? He don't beat me up a little bit. Not beat down, beat up.
Right.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I think I'm more calm with heat on. I'm just more flowy and in the moment. Whereas with Henner, sometimes I feel like I try to impress Henner a little bit too much,
Mm-hmm.
or that like I want to look good in front of Henner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas I don't really feel that with heat on. I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
But with both of them, it's a very challenging role,
Oh
say the
yeah.
least. You know,
Zach, and there are also MMA fighter. Of course, T City. He goes trains
yeah.
there. Do you help at all when there is this MMA fighters training at the academy? Do you get to train with them too?
Yeah. I mean, I get to train with them, but when it's fight camp, usually I don't train with them.
I
If that
see.
makes sense. So, like, what I like to word it as, I'm more the off-season guy. I feel like,
Okay.
where like at times if they feel like it and it's off season and they don't have a fight camp or a fight scheduled, then they'll go with me and we'll work a little bit. But if there's a fight schedule, usually I try to stay away and just kind of let the like real professionals do it. Like
I see.
most of the time when it's like a real fight camp, it's like Henner's in the mix and the MMA fighters are like rolling with the other MMA fighters and like John Paul and like those high level brown belts and stuff like that. Like they're in the mix and really
Mm-hmm.
pushing each other in that. When it's like off season time and they're just kind of there to train, then I'll get in the mix.
Right.
Yeah,
Who are the MMA fighters that have gone train there? Man, a lot of them,
a
right?
lot of it. Recently, it hasn't been as many, but in the old days, like I shouldn't say old days, but in the I don't know, like a couple years ago, like 2016,
Mm-hmm.
2015, you had a lot of different
Yeah.
fighters in the mix there.
Even Ronda
Uh,
Rousey's trained a little bit with them, right?
yeah, Ronda was in there. Jake
Machida.
Allen, Mashida's still with us. Machida hangs out. Yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
still around. Um, and then T City, of course. Mark Munoz. We had like Glover Teixeira a couple times come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's mainly it. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Have you trained with the some of the famous people there? The actor I forgot. I escapes my name right now.
Vince,
Yes,
I haven't trained with Vince, but I've
Vince
trained
Vaughn.
Vince's kids. Yeah, Vince Vaughn. Yeah, he's good though. Based on what I've heard, I haven't trained with him, like I said. But he's super dedicated, always in there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
private lessons and working with the black belts, and yeah, he's
Mm-hmm.
really good, really dedicated.
Cool. And man, Al Bundy. What's his name?
Oh, Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill. People don't know that Ed O'Neill from Married with Children. That's the
Yeah,
trains at the academy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Have
He's a
you?
black.
He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
Do you have time chance to train with him too?
It's funny. So I've trained with him a little bit, just techniques. Like there was some like techniques I was working on. He like made some adjustments, and that was a long time ago. That was like probably back when I was a teenager, just like teaching me some adjustments on the hip throws and stuff like that. I also trained his daughter a little bit, and yeah, that was about it. But I haven't seen Ed in a while. I hope he's doing well. He's a super cool guy. Yeah,
Super cool.
he's awesome. Yeah,
What about with Master Horion Sack? Do you have a chance to train with him?
yeah, I had a chance. It's been a while since I've seen Horion too, but I got some deep grandmaster secrets. Like cross collar choke secrets and just not even
Nice,
I couldn't say secrets, but just like
nice.
adjustments and yeah, that was fun.
And also, what about Hickson? Has Hickson been there too in
Um,
classes, give seminars there?
I haven't seen Hickson in a while. I mean, he came in right before we closed just to talk to Hannah a little bit. So I haven't trained with Hickson yet, but he's cool. He's a cool guy too. Yeah.
Cool. Hickson, Master Sauer, Hoist has given seminars too. Have you had chance to train with Hoist too?
I've met Hoist, but I haven't trained with Hoist. Yeah, I haven't trained with him. I've trained with Master Sauer,
Mm.
but yeah, not Hoist.
Cool, man. So, what is your belt right now?
Right now, I'm a purple belt.
Purple belt.
Yeah.
And what's in for you now next? I mean, in terms of like, what are your goals in jiu-jitsu? Keep training, keep teaching.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially it, man. Just trying to get better day by day. I have like some specific goals for each category, teaching and training. But overall, it's just the general goal of getting better.
Getting better every day. Hey,
Yeah.
I saw a prank. Do you play a prank with with Henner
Yeah,
about your leg? You want to tell us about it?
man. So that was a while ago before my leg was actually hurt.
Now it's hard for real. Now nobody's gonna believe you, man.
Yeah, you know, now it's hurt for real. But it's better now, actually. It's all right. It works, you know. Um, but what happened was, you know, Victor, right? Victor?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And Tony, you know, Tony too?
No, Tony, no, just Victor.
Okay. So Victor has an assistant named Tony, and Tony, Tony came in with crutches and, you know, a knee brace like that, like a whole, like, knee brace. And I don't know what I was even thinking. I was just like, man, we got to get Henner with this. Like, what if I put the crutches on and I wrap my leg with the knee brace, you know, and just go for it. And they thought it was a good idea, and that would be funny. And because nobody's ever pranked Henner before, really, you know, like they try, and then he always catches on,
Damn.
always. Like he's always like very on top of it.
And he pranks people too, right?
It's gotten like down. He hasn't pranked people
Okay.
anymore, but just, you know, yeah, he always catches everybody. Nobody gets him, you know. So I wrap it up and I get the crutches, and the whole goal is Victor had my phone, and he came in because they were working out. I think it was Even and Henner. They were working out, and then Victor had the phone against his ear recording, and I walk in on the crutches, you know. And I went in, and at first I think Henner was like really upset, you know. He's like, dude, you know, what is this? You know, like, who did this to you, kind of thing. And I didn't prepare too well. I didn't even know what to say really.
Right.
Like, I don't want to tell who did it. And then you saw Victor kind of like this, you know. So the phone was like, you could tell it was like recording. And he's like, oh, you're pranking me. You
Oh
know,
man.
we almost got him. It was so close, and then
Almost.
yeah, but then it didn't work out.
What
But
if,
it's funny.
did you get to tell him, man, was rolling, was like somebody gave me a heel hook, something like
No,
that? That was the idea that he got like, man, you know, he got
yeah, I
emotional
mean,
about it.
the video was all that happened. That's it. So there was no like beforehand anything. Like I just walked in on it. And he was like, "Dude, who did this? Who did it?" You know, like yeah, man, it was funny.
That's cool. Were you there when they played the Baba Gracie prank?
I wasn't there.
Man,
Yeah,
that
I
was a
wasn't there.
good prank.
Super good.
That was T City, right?
Yeah, T City was in the costume. He
Yeah.
just scared people.
Yeah, I remember one time we went to a what's called the Jiu-Jitsu Summit, and T City was teaching the kids classes. He was good. He
Mm.
was a good managing on those kids, man.
Oh yeah.
You probably also saw his evolution also as like a. Do you remember T City being like a blue belt or?
I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I met T City's Brown. So I came
Brown?
in like when he was a brown belt, like just got his brown belt. And I remember the first fight I watched him at was Respecting the Cage, you know. Just like little fight in Pomona, and he just got down, and it was in a little theater and everything, and he won, and it's crazy. But yeah, and that's crazy too, because he was the main person I really learned how to teach kids from. Just watching him, watching Henner all the time teach, and that's like, I give them most of the credit for like the energy I try to bring. You know what I mean? Because it was just me watching them for years, and of course Alex Ueda and Bondro too, and all those other guys. But it was Brian and Henner that I really like tried to follow by example and just take the most from and learn from. And yeah, man, it was really cool to just watch Brian grow from respecting the cage, and then all of a sudden his first UFC fight, and then fighting him for the title, like just crazy stuff.
Wow, that was amazing.
And then there's also like memories I have with Brian where we would travel and teach. You know, like I went with him to Michigan when I was like 16 and taught kids in Flint, and he ran that thing, and I just helped him out with that and learned a lot from him. You know, so it's cool to see where he's at and all the hard work he's put in. Like,
right. Does he still teach at all at the academy or not anymore?
He's just focusing on fighting.
On his MMA fight, right?
Yeah. So that all his time is just to training and fighting and getting that belt soon. Everybody's sleeping on the T-City comeback right now.
Have you seen him since the last fight? Like, how is he is he in good shape? Is he in...
Yeah, I mean, at first, you know, you could tell he was like a little bit sad, you know, and it makes sense, man. You know, you put a lot on the line, and he just has that heart of a champion.
That was a tough fight, man. It was hard for me to watch.
Yeah, I was there. I was in Toronto. But yeah, I mean, it was crazy, and he put it all on the line, and that was his first loss too against the champ, and you know, it took a little bit for him to bounce back and take a break, because he was nonstop. Like the way Brian trains is, I personally think, the best kind of way you should train if you're a fighter, and that's that all your training is like a fight camp. So whether you're on schedule for a fight or it's off season, you're training like there's a fight. You know what I mean? He was doing that, but it just got so like prolonged, the fight camp, because Max kept canceling and things just kept coming up, conflicts, you know, and then the fight happened and he lost, and then he just needed a break. You know, so he took a little break, and then finally he was like amped up and ready to come back. And man, ever since then, I'd probably say like the whole year of let me see, when was that? So like starting probably like the middle of 2019, you know, August-ish, like July. Then he still really like started going again, and he's been looking sick, man. Like, he's improved so much.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, he's just putting in so much work, and then the zombie fight got scheduled, and he got injured. He had to cancel out of that.
Yeah.
Luckily, you know, the injury he had, it was just a rehab of like a month or something, you know, and then after that rehab, he's just been hitting it again, like really going and training, and he's gonna come back. I'm excited for it, man.
Cool,
you know?
man. Me too.
Yeah. He's gonna get.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see him. I really am a fan of him, and man, I hope he gets it. You know, Sam, it's been Zac. It's been amazing talking with you, man. You told us about how you found jiu-jitsu, how it helped you get in shape, gain confidence, stand up against your bullies, how you became instructor. We talk about your initiative about to help jiu-jitsu schools. You told us amazing stories at the Gracie Academy. And man, it's been amazing. Do you want to add anything, any like maybe something that you learned through these times that you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just think that, I don't know if I necessarily learned it through this time, but just understanding the fact that humans, we're not as fragile as we think. You know what I mean? In the sense that like humans, we can do a lot of like amazing things, and that includes getting through everything we're going through right now. You know, in the sense that like we're resilient, we're made to survive, and we have that survival within us. And I think that, it's tricky to adapt right now, but human nature, if you just look through all of human history, it is adapting. That's why I personally think, like, how generation and generation usually don't like each other. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they don't like the differences. The only reason that happens is because they're against the adapting that they're not a part of. You know what I'm saying? So human nature, we'll always move forward. We'll always get through this. And, yeah, man, just listen, like, stay safe, stay inside, and be healthy.
Cool, bro. It
Yeah.
was nice talking to you, bro.
Thank
And
you, man. It was nice talking to you too.
good luck with the GoFundMe. I'm gonna make my donation,
Thank you.
and hopefully to see you soon, man. Hopefully on the mats, and
Yeah, man.
let's get a little training together again, man. I can't wait.
Definitely, bro. I can't wait to. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, bro. Good luck. Thank you very
All right.
much.
Take care.
All right, bro. Take care. Thank you.